What is good, y'all? Welcome to the Web4 Roundtable for this amazing Wednesday. All right, just got to update the banner here. It looks like Hedera coming here live from the hash graph. Looks like we're sitting at around 2,000, a little bit over 2K transactions per second, coming up on 71 billion transactions on the Hedera mainnet. Now, for those of you guys that might be new to Hedera, this is just kind of like a little known fact around here. A lot of these transactions are mainly through Atma.io. It's one of our main use cases. And then, of course, they're subsidized as well. A lot of it does flow back into like 0.0800 as well. So technically it is revenue for the ecosystem. Technically it is real TPS, but the ecosystem is showcasing the power almost at 2,500 TPS right here. Obviously showcasing the actual power, the raw, the raw power of the network. Let me show you guys another dashboard here, chain inspect. As you guys can see here, just making sure my audio looks good. It looks like there was a bug that said that there was no audio. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the live stream. What's up? Feel free to say hi as well. Feel free to leave a like, retweet, comment. It is the best way to support our show, of course, as well. Today's show is sponsored by Gilmore Estates and the GC token, tokenizing real estate on Hedera. Of course, shout out to them. You guys can see the token ID down below and what they're all about, and their @ symbol as well. Make sure to go shoot them a follow, and massive shout out for them supporting and sponsoring, of course, our show here. Looks like on Chain Inspect, you guys can all see. Trying to minimize this. There we go. There was a pop-up on my window. I was trying to minimize it. You guys probably can't see it though. But you can see fastest blockchains by transactions. Now this metric ought not be the only, of course, metric that is just like kind of the end all be all, showcasing, hey, like my blockchain is the best. It clearly isn't the only metric that matters, but it is, of course, one of the metrics that, of course, very, very important, vital to our ecosystem, and it does set us apart to other chains. I think this is higher. I'm not sure why it's showing 3,000. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's definitely way higher than that. I think it was 7 or 8,000 at one point, but maybe I'm thinking the test net or something. But yeah, pretty sure mainnet was a lot higher on max recorded. Briefly there when they were just testing out maybe some future use cases. So Hedera, Solana, Near, Stellar, Tron, and so on. So shout out to Hedera, shout out to all the chains here showing up here in this way, and go check out Chain Inspect if you guys want to see what's going on. Chaininspect.app and then / you guys can check out the dashboard. You can compare, do a little bit of research on here. And like I said before, I do want to start showcasing more platforms, specifically more platforms that I use personally to kind of look through certain things. So one of the other ones is Gecko Terminal. So if you guys are not familiar, I learned about this one in the last maybe 6 months or so. I don't use it all the time just because things have been pretty slow, not gonna lie, at least in Hedera in terms of DeFi. So I didn't really have a need to really look into it too much. But now that things start picking up, and hopefully we do have, of course, a trend reversal on the stochastic RSI, which we haven't had yet. I keep saying a lot of people are super excited and hyped for, like, let's say not for nothing. I don't want to be like rude, but I mean, I'm not going to be jumping and all ecstatic right now. I'm not hyped really any more than I have been over the last few months. I've been saying October most likely will be Uptober. That's pretty historically accurate. But until we actually have a full conversion on the stochastic, I can honestly care less what the day-to-day or week-to-week prices. We're still, I don't know what the price is off the top of my head. Let's look at it here. Let me refresh my screen. But of course, Chain Inspect here, you guys can see what's cooking over there and where Hedera is firmly sitting. And they've been there for pretty much forever. I think there's been a couple times they got knocked off. But for the most part, Hedera has been dominating on that end. So let's get into some technical analysis. Let me update the banner here. You guys can see on the little brand, you can see it switch to technical analysis here. That was a little bit of the news that I was catching here with Chain Inspect and seeing where the TPS is at, of course. Also, if you guys want to come up and speak, you're more than welcome to. This is the Web4 Roundtable after all, so there's plenty of seat here. For you guys to come up and chat. If you have alpha, you guys want to come hang out with me, feel free to let me know. And then, of course, if you're here in the live stream, hit that button on the bottom, and you're welcome to leave a live comment as well. So again, yesterday Bitcoin was at 63K, and I told you guys all pretty much the two levels that I'm looking at is 73K and 53K. Super fascinating that Bitcoin continuing to consolidate. I wonder if there's a little chart here. I don't know. Here it is. Yeah, I mean that's pretty flat. There's not much to the upside or downside here over the last 24 hours. Or actually, this is the last 7 days. Bitcoin has been absolutely in the middle of the most significant, arguably indecision level that I've seen in a while. And I've been saying, right, October will be that time where 73K to 53K is that range, and we're 10,000 away from either dropping below 53,000 or 10,000 above, confirming above the new all-time high. So super fascinating developments. A lot of people are going to get bored. A lot of people are going to get shaken out because they think that either we're going to go lower, or of course, just the longer we wait at this 63 range, people are going to start getting impatient. So hopefully that's not you. I've seen a couple posts now saying, and maybe they're engagement farming or they're fake, but I have seen a couple posts saying I sold all my Bitcoin, I sold all my crypto over the last few months, and now things are pumping again. And I said before, right? And again, if it's fake, whatever. But if it's real, I did say the moment that things start getting boring, choppy, you feel impatient, you want to just kind of sell, and you're thinking maybe it'll go lower, that kind of stuff. I mean, that's pretty much the time you should be doing the opposite, because chances are, trying to find the trading view. I feel like it wasn't loading there for a second. Let me pull up the charts. Let's see what's going on here. This is the technical analysis segment of the stream. So if you're just joining us, welcome. Hope you guys are doing well on this amazing Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. What's up, you guys? I see Saucy Grow in the stream. What's up? And I see a bunch of you guys in the live stream as well. Shout out to all of you. And again, feel free to leave a live comment if you guys are here in the live stream as well. I want to see who's here. Unfortunately, I can't see who's here if you guys don't comment. So, but I see a bunch of you guys here. So shout out to all of you. All right. So as I said before, I don't really focus on the daily candles. I just don't, because they're not as powerful. I don't really focus on the weekly candles either. Again, not very powerful. They do tell a story though, and on the weekly currently, we do have quite a bit of bullish momentum. So very important to note there. Let's go on the monthly. So I mainly look on the monthly, maybe the 3 months on occasion, but mainly the monthly here. All right. Okay, there you go. I don't know why my audio wasn't showing. That was kind of weird there. What's up, everyone? I see a bunch of you guys joining in the spaces here as well. Shout out to you guys. All right. So as I said before, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. If you're just joining us, this is the technical analysis portion of the show here. So you guys can see on the monthly, we had a spinning top indecision that it could go either way at this point for the next candle. We had a massive drop, which was pretty much indicative of what this candle was going to become in July. August, we had a massive sell-off, but then we rallied all the way back, which shows strength off this support level. As I said, we broke 53, but we did not confirm below it, which makes me super bullish. And that turned into a hammer. If you guys have been following our show here since at least August, you guys know I said this is a hammer candle. September has not closed yet, but if we do close this, hammers typically signal trend reversals, whichever way they're pointing. And these hammers are pointing up. So 2 hammer candles back to back. To me, that's pretty incredible. I'm super bullish on this. Obviously, things could change, and the candles don't tell the 1000% story, but they're usually pretty significant, pretty strong on the higher time frames, which the monthly is. And then of course you can see on the stochastic RSI, it's pinching as close as possible at this point. You can see they're almost converged fully. You can see the gaps, and then boom. I mean, going September, October would most likely be the latest. I said October would most likely be the latest for some form of a cross. It's due at this point. Our last cross was March, and they usually cross about every 6 months. Sometimes it takes its sweet time. Sometimes it's a little bit shorter. So last time it was October of last year, and then we had March. That was 6 months. If we're literally gonna fit what happened a year ago, we will cross basically within the next week or two, or maybe a couple weeks, just at some point in October. But literally following the cross in October, the cross in March. So if you guys maybe are new to all this, right? Let me zoom out so you can kind of see price action as well, and how significant these crosses actually are. And then we also saw a cross down in August, just kind of marking the actual bottom of the bear market. And I called it last year when we started our spaces. This is actually, this candle right here was when we started. Fun fact, we've been doing our shows for about a year now. This candle right here was when we started our spaces. And I said, the bottom is in. I might as well start doing multiple spaces a week. I want to get the word out there, try to get as many people in the know, right? Hey, this is what's happening in crypto. Basically, be prepared. I believe the bull run's right around the corner, at least the first phase, which the first, literally, I can't even make this up. The next 5 months essentially was up only from there. And then, of course, I read it in the stochastic RSI. I saw, look, we had to cross down. This signifies basically the bottom with a ton of momentum. And then we had to cross up with the blue here. And it was basically up only until we hit maximum uh, velocity of momentum, which is this 100 level up here. And we held that for months. We held that from basically almost January all the way to March, almost April, actually. It was absolutely insane in terms of momentum. And I kept saying, hey, this is incredibly high on the momentum. And essentially, we can't go any higher. So this was a local top. And I said, hey, for me, I'm more than happy to hold my H bar, hold some Bitcoin, whatever. But in terms of DeFi and NFTs, like most of my stuff with the risk on assets, that is not my risk tolerance. That's not my risk profile. So I publicly said, hey, I'm going to sell all my HTS about right here. I'm super bullish on HTS, and I plan on getting back in very, very soon, especially if we have a cross here. But I did say until we have a cross, I'm not touching it, because if H bar falls, if Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin, obviously, if Bitcoin falls, H bar falls, if H bar falls, everything falls harder. So that's just kind of the logical order of events essentially. So now we're up here, right? We're waiting. We've been waiting. If you're new to the show, welcome. Hope you guys are learning something here. But as I said, March, April, pretty much it's going to be downwards momentum until we have another cross up. And as I said before, every 6 to 9 months, sometimes it's a little bit short, sometimes it's 3 months, kind of the rule of thumb, 3, 6, 9, but usually it's around 6. So basically going into October would be that 6 month. It could take its time and go a couple more months if we lose more momentum. Maybe we consolidate here and trade sideways for a bit. That's normal. That's fine too. But I've been saying that October will most likely be a level to heavily watch, and obviously it coincides with October. Historically, October is very bullish. Historically, things really pump in October. And if you just want to look back basically a year ago, and you can see, oh, okay, well, we're right here. Essentially, this candle is this candle over here, right? When we started our show. And then October. So this could be next month, essentially. And then this could be November and December and January. Like I said, Q1 will most likely be that top if we do have a pump very, very soon. I know a lot of people are starting to throw up charts and talk about late 2025, which could still be in play as well as the actual Pico top. But we just have to keep watching. I believe that scenario is way more likely if we actually dump below 53K. I'm going to wait because the chart just reloaded. If we dump below 53K, I think it's just going to be a super prolonged bull run. And then maybe it'll be like a crazy blow off top. But I believe the blow off top will happen sooner than later. And I do feel, just based on literally talking about this every single day at this point, for the past year and years. I mean, I've been here for years at this point, since 2020. Man, I mean, that the blow off top happened so fast, and people are just going to blink and they're going to miss it. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, was that really the bull run, or that was everything, right? Like, I think a lot of people underestimate that Bitcoin went from 16,000 this cycle all the way to let's see here. This cycle basically started. So I entered crypto around here, in this range over here. So I got to see literally the entire cycle, and I got to see the round tripping happen down here as well. But Bitcoin went all the way down to, like, it touched upper 15K. 15K to 70 something is like like a 5 or 6x or more. Like that's pretty strong for a bull run, regardless. Now, obviously, I believe Bitcoin has more room to run. I think it has legs. I think it'll hit something up here. I know some people have some pretty incredible price targets. I said 78K might be the top. That's being super conservative, right? Most people don't agree with that, which is totally fine. I don't want that to be the case, obviously. I'm thinking about 120 to 140 if I'm going to be a bit more bullish. So about double my original price target there. About 140, 120 range. I think that's probably the top. I know a lot of people say the Bitcoin power law, they want to go into the 200s and so on. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but who knows? An actual blow off top gets really crazy once we enter price discovery. We clearly haven't entered any price discovery yet. And when you really zoom out and understand, hey, like we have to build a very strong base before, like this is not a base, right? This is an uptrend market. This cannot be sustained for any period of time. You can see the last bull run here. That I mean, it was pretty much 4 to 6 months or less. So if we do enter that up only area, basically mark your days, mark your calendars, and say, okay, well, it's only about a 3 month window before the Bitcoin top is in, most likely 6 months if it's like super extreme and really abnormal, which it could happen. And then basically your altcoins, you probably need to be taking profits around there, and DeFi, NFTs, all that as well, going into the next year essentially. So, I mean, we're literally weeks away at this point, days. You can probably count the days at this point on what's most likely going to happen. We're bull flagging really hard here. I could pull up a little line graph if you guys want me to, but yeah, I mean, the bull flags there clearly. I'm super bullish on it. The technicals look good. Let me pull up the RSI as well, see how high we are. I know we're above 50. Let me pull it up here. Yeah. Let me actually exit out the stochastic since we've already covered it. Let me zoom in here for you guys. RSI looks good, looks strong. And this is also something that I talked about. The higher we are up here, the more concerned I get, because I know what this means essentially. And you cannot go higher than 100, essentially 190. In this 90 range, you can't really go much higher. So you scroll back here. This is what gets me really excited here. So if we just kind of zoom in and look, just don't even look at candles, don't look at price action, don't even look at the price. Uh, purely off the RSI, right? Look at this. What is this one at? This one hit 90.1, 91.45. So this was the last actual Pico top. Obviously, it double topped, so it ranged lower. But our first, and obviously the first one's much higher on momentum. So it's possible that this could have been our first top, unless our bull run looks completely different than last time. It is possible that this one has a lower momentum top, but if this one's just like a false top and we just needed to build a base, it is possible, because it hasn't happened yet. Technically, we've only hit 76 on the RSI for the monthly. We haven't gone to this level at all. Now, this chart doesn't go back far enough, but typically we do reach the 80s and 90s, which we haven't yet. So Bitcoin hasn't technically had its full uh, push to the upside in terms of momentum. So until we get to these levels, I'm not going to really be saying, hey, like this is probably the top. So of course, we'll just kind of continue to cover it as we continue to do more shows, because I want to make sure as many people as possible, of course, are aware of where we are at in the cycle. And so here's the charting. Here's what I'm looking at here. Study the RSI, study the stochastic, look for the crosses, where I believe we're about to have a cross very, very soon. And of course, elections are right around the corner, and I do believe that'll affect these charts quite a lot. And depending on who you're voting for, if you're in the U.S. or whatever, right? Some of them are pretty pro crypto seemingly, and I don't know if it's just lip service, and some are kind of not for crypto. So you kind of have to just kind of watch and see what's getting priced in, who might get elected officially, and what kind of policies. I know I don't know what Kamala has said personally. I'm only hearing what's kind of coming up on the news. I know Trump mentioned. He was at the Bitcoin conference, so I watched that one. and he talked about how 100 days into the presidency, which again, I don't know if he's going to do that, but that's what he said. 100 days in, he would have regulations for a lot of the crypto market. Obviously, that would be probably really bullish initially, but I think that'd be incredibly bearish in the short term, maybe even a couple years, which would probably cause us to go in the bear market. Because how do you really like go any higher than that unless we have like some incredible, like, forget all the cycles, forget everything I'm talking about, and it's just a massive decoupling event where, which I'd be fine with. I mean, that I think this is what will happen at some point anyways. What is it going to be? What is it going to look like when companies actually take crypto seriously, start adding it on the balance sheet outside of Bitcoin, and start using the networks essentially, right? I don't know what that's going to look like, but that would essentially be trillions of dollars into the market. So let's look at Bitcoin dominance here. We're going to wrap up the technical analysis aspect of the show here very, very soon. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the live chat here. All right. So Bitcoin dominance here. We're still increasing in our dominance, which typically, just so you guys know as well, Bitcoin does not hit its all-time high in dominance usually until it has its actual pico top. And then, of course, profits roll into the more riskier assets like Ethereum, Solana, and it says others right here, right? So very important to note as well. I only see Bitcoin continuing to gain dominance, and I think it's only going to continue. So this massive bluish purple on the top here is only going to increase down like this because that means it's going to gain more, and then this gray is only going to basically go slightly lower. But honestly, this gray for the past few months has actually consolidated a bit, but in relation to Bitcoin, it looks like ETH has actually been losing quite a bit of market share, which is pretty normal as well. And historically, Ethereum typically starts to pump and run first before altcoins have their day, essentially. So very important to note. This is incredibly crucial to know just kind of where we are in the cycle as well. So keep that in mind. And of course, Fear Greed Index here, we're sitting at 52.83 here on September 25th. As I said before, we actually had a downtrend. So here's something insane, right? January, July, and then we had August. So let's see, July 4th and 5th. Super fascinating. First week of July, we had all the way down into the mid 30s, Fear and Greed Index. First week of August, we went all the way down to 31. And then let's see if it, look at that. That's insane. I didn't even notice this. Dang, we're discovering this live on the channel here. First week of September, we went all the way down to 30. No, 25. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we went to 25. That was like 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago now. Absolutely insane. So this is a clear downtrend of momentum. I know the text is blocking it here. Clear downtrend. I mean, all these lower lows since May. I mean, we haven't gained any momentum. Not a single higher high at all, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high momentum. We have not actually. Can I chart this? Wonder if I can chart this, but I don't think it'll let me put lines on it, unfortunately. But just kind of imagine a line going straight down from here and going like this. We actually, hold on, straight down across here. So technically, you know what? I think this line would actually be breached right about here if we didn't continue to lose more momentum. So I think now that I'm looking at this, I haven't even looked at this. We're just doing it live here. I think we're about to break, which I've just been saying. This is all lining up with scenario one I've been talking about. If we continue on above 50 in sentiment here, we would actually break this downtrend of momentum, which clearly, if we have this much of a downtrend in momentum and the pricing is only increasing or consolidating, that just means that the market is pricing all the negativity in, and everything's just consolidating, and that's just so much more bullish. So like I said, since July, we've actually been in a downtrend on momentum. So I want to pull the price up one more time just to kind of show you guys once again what the market's looking like in relation to the momentum. This is really fascinating, and I just saw this for the first time here. Um, all right, let's see. All right. I'll actually keep it on the daily this time because I do believe that the sentiment is based. I think it's daily. I feel like it was daily. Here, let me just pull it up one more time on my other tab. Need a cross reference here. What's up, you guys? See a bunch of you guys joining the space as well. For those of you guys in the live stream, if you didn't know, we also have a space running live in tandem at the same time. So feel free to tap in on the space. And then, of course, if you're in the space, I am charting live and covering some live uh, charting as well here. And I'll do some graphs and stuff. So let me look at the fear and greed index one more time here. It is, yeah, it's showing the daily for the past year. So it's like a condensed yearly. So basically, I'd have to just zoom out. See right here. So this is basically the entire. Uh, so I'm gonna do two things really fast. I'm gonna kind of just transition. So take kind of like a mental screenshot of this, and then I'm gonna show you guys the other chart. I wish I could like overlap them, but super fascinating. All right, so basically a year ago, and look at the momentum here from October to March, and then basically it's almost straight across. Like you can see right here, the 63K. As I said, we basically, regardless of how high or low we've gone, we've pretty much held this point since we had to cross down. So again, take a mental screenshot at this, and then look at this. Look at this. We had the downtrend here, right? Or actually, this is July. So 1 second. The graph was wrong. So let me see July. Zoom out a little bit here. So July. So you guys can see down here. I know it's kind of small. Can I zoom it in maybe? All right. So July down here. So July essentially, and then it's basically been an uptrend only till March. But the sentiment tells a completely different story. Look at this. So from July, we had a drop in sentiment, a severe drop in sentiment here, going literally right before the pump. And this to me is super reminiscent of all this, which I've been saying for a long time now. Look at this. So right here, and then we had the pump basically all the way to March. So we had a ton of sentiment. Obviously, we had a pullback, but pretty much nonstop sentiment to the upside. And then let me take this off because it really blocks the screen. But as I said, just complete downtrend ever since. And look at this. Now, if you want to look at all this and then go all the way down here, I mean, we're literally 10,000 below 73K to 63K. Essentially, we haven't dropped at all. And we've just basically held this level and built super strong support, arguably, in this range. Obviously, we could drop below 53K, but that's a bit of a different conversation if we lose more momentum. But we do not have only downtrends. You can see further candles just kind of holding support down here, making new support. Now these do have the downtrend, but in terms of price, we've consistently held up in this level and we're not chilling down here somewhere. So super fascinating. I do believe that this chart looks quite different than the sentiment. Personally, it's similar. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be super similar, but arguably Bitcoin is, in terms of price, much higher in relation to the sentiment, which means once sentiment actually starts to shoot up, the price will basically be coinciding with that. So let me just throw it back here as well. I do believe price is much higher than sentiment. And as I said before, since I can't chart, I can't chart the sentiment, unfortunately, I can chart the price. Let me see if it'll load here. So I mean, we're almost exactly following to a T. There you go. You guys should be able to see it here. So I mean, we're a little bit under this trend line here. I could actually lower just slightly. And then of course you could actually do it from here if you really wanted to. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. Personally, it's still about the same range. But if we zoom in here, I mean, Bitcoin has to break, as I said before, it needs to kind of break this 63K level here and really form a new uptrend. We haven't seen that yet. Then so basically it looks like around 66,000 for the this trend, right? This is the bear flag, bull flag. Not bear flag. This is the bull flag I was talking about. Let me see if it'll let me. There you go. So pretty pretty fascinating channel to be trading in. And typically, if we break out of the channel, so now, and also the channel moves. So I keep saying 73K, 53K. The channel actually moves a bit. So it can change over time depending on price action. So also, if you guys are new to the market as well, there's two different kinds of markets historically. There's trending markets and then there's consolidating markets. So this is a consolidating market. We're not trending to the upside. We're definitely not trading to the downside. We have a slight downward momentum, but it's still just consolidating within this channel. This kind of market up here, let me zoom out a little bit here. I gotta zoom in and then move it. So this kind of channel over here, I mean, this is pretty much up only, no pun intended with karate combat. As you guys can see, I mean, it was pretty almost straight up. And as I said, Bitcoin did like a 6x. That's pretty in line with a typical bull run as well. This is very important to be aware of when people are freaking out and saying we haven't had a bull run, whatever. Like this is pretty par for the course for what it's going to look like for us moving forward. Once we break out, and then of course we can go back. I mean, I can literally just continue to do this once it. Actually, let me take it off the daily because there's too many candles and it looks super small. And of course, these trend lines, regardless of the time frame, pretty much sticks to what I'm telling you guys, right? I can actually make these longer since it's a longer time frame now. But essentially, we had uptrend, consolidation, and then look at this. Here's something super fascinating. Here's the bear market. We have the downtrend. So also we could trend down, obviously. So going into a bear market, which I think will happen sooner than later. This is the downtrend. This is a slight, like you can see the angles are quite different. Downtrend, uptrend, consolidation. Kind of see here. Arguably this level right here. And obviously, honestly, this bear market, hold on. This bear market was actually in a slight uptrend, but it's technically just building a base. Let me find the I guess I can't talk and chart at the same time. All right. So as you guys can see, essentially we had the slightest, I mean, it's slight. The same thing right here. I arguably this angle and this angle are very similar, but the downtrend is pretty palpable. It's pretty clear. Same thing here. Same thing with the trend down. Here's another base, uptrend, downtrend, slight uptrend, but still consolidation. And then uptrend, consolidation. So right now we are consolidating super hard. I said the longer that this takes without us breaking one of these channels, because these channels also it's incredibly important. Here, let me just show you guys something in the past. So forget about all these candles. Let me show you guys something that's super important to be aware of. All right. So if we had, let's see, we had an uptrend here back in 2021. Okay. Continue to add some more lines here. Clear uptrend, right? I don't think anyone could disagree. The moment that we have basically the support broken, we automatically shoot down. You can see massive candles to the downside here. We do have a few consolidation points, which are basically these lows here. You can see it. They touched all the way down here, whatever this is, 30,000, which was definitely a level of, look at this. Years later, these were key. Oh, I'm trying to move that. These were key resistance levels. Look at that from Bitcoin in the bear market until we broke. Look at this. Look how strong these. This was basically support. It was bouncing off this level, and then of course once we held this for May through July, almost August right here. August, May through August, it took to build a base to actually have the last final blow off top. This was the actual blow off top here on the weekly. This is the weekly candles right here. Super fascinating to watch this as well. And then, of course, once we basically invalidate it, because you can have a little uptrend, you can kind of cross lines over it as well. You kind of cross these here. So I can kind of just show you guys it's super important to be aware of the trend. These, look at, we had a higher low here. Look at low, higher low, and then we had higher high, higher high, higher high, no more highs, and then look at this massive November candle here, the end of November 2021, absolutely broke us out of this uptrend and immediately sent us into a downtrend, and it was nothing but lower lows. Look at this, not a single high after that. And so understanding at what point we are in the cycle, understanding where we are we consolidating? Look at this, it's just flat, super flat. Obviously you can have a little bit higher flats as well, slightly higher up, higher highs. And then let me throw the indicator back up. You guys can all see just kind of how the stochastic looks over it as well. Just kind of see how important these indicators are. Let's see. Like I'm actually just looking at the candles at this point. I'm not even looking at stochastic. I'd say it was probably across somewhere in this range over here. There was, look at that, within a couple, like 2 weeks from it. There was a cross right here. I thought it'd be right here. There's literally a cross right here to the upside. And look at that. That triggered our latest bull run essentially. So this was, funny enough, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this. Wow. On the weekly, because I only look at the monthly candles. Essentially, we started our show September 18th. September 14th was the first show, but the first Monday that we actually started the second episode, technically. This was actually the first week, and we actually had a stochastic RSI cross essentially from the week on the weekly, and that's basically the full uptrend that we saw here going into the end of the year. So the weekly, you can definitely get alpha from the weekly as well. It's super important to see just kind of where that momentum is heading as well. And then look at, you can even have mini consolidation periods inside these massive waves on the monthly. Massive consolidation, boom, another trend. And what is this? So with everything I just shared, basically, all of this is massive consolidation. Of course, we do have some lower lows. No, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's not, but the typical candle structure that we have right now would be considered a bull flag. So got to just continue to watch. Obviously, this right here is quite different than what we have right now. So the 2021 does not look exactly like what our current bull run looks like. So of course, every bull run's a little bit different, but historically they look relatively similar. So we haven't had any major blow off top yet, to my understanding, to my knowledge. And it's super important to be aware of just kind of where we are in the cycle. So if you have any friends, you want to learn about charting or technical analysis, where I see the markets heading, best way to support the show, feel free to share the show with your friends. Let them know where we are in the market. I'm doing my best to show up as often as possible for you guys and let you guys know what I'm seeing. I try to keep as much of this information uh, just in the market. I want to make sure as many people are informed, in the know. Hedera, of course, shooting back up to almost 6 cents. Bunch of people are bullish for some reason. I get it. I mean, you see some green and it's exciting, but it's not really anything that crazy, in my opinion, that's happening right now. Nothing's really changed fundamentally that I've seen. Of course, if this is the most exciting thing for you, I mean, hopefully it's not, because we haven't really seen much change. It's like 1 or 2 cents, maybe a difference. I'm gonna be excited personally when we have like tens of cents to the upside, significantly changing, and that's just my personal take because not much has shifted. Not trying to be mean or rude or anything. I just nothing's really changed, at least from what I could tell. I mean, it's literally one green candle. It's not really changing anything personally in the fundamentals here of what I'm looking at. So yeah, people posting we're so back or whatever. I mean, it's not really necessary, I guess, personally. So because we're not back. I mean, we're definitely not back yet. All right, so stochastic RSI for H bar in particular, I believe we're going to end up going down as low as possible here. We're not that close to a cross. I think we'll cross after Bitcoin for sure. That's what happens. November, December will most likely be the earliest for the cross, and of course, H bar actually had a cross after Bitcoin. If you remember, Bitcoin crossed up here February, March. H bar didn't cross till like late April over here. So we definitely trail Bitcoin. And as I always chart and focus on Bitcoin first, because H bar is always going to be following and preceding Bitcoin pretty much no matter what until we have a massive decoupling event, of course. So there's that. like I said, November, December will most likely be the earliest if we do have a cross in Bitcoin within the next few weeks to the next month. Essentially, we're about 30 days. I keep saying about 15 to 30 to 60 days or so. Like literally, we're within 30 days or less at this point. Uh, October's more or less the make or break month. I do believe that. And in terms of sentiment, we got to have some confirmations as well. So, still many variables at play. Now, altcoins, and none of this is bearish, mind you. The more we lose momentum, to me, I just get more bullish because that's an incredible buying opportunity. Personally, just looking at this historically as well, we go back, like I said, back to the bear market. We have not lost this much momentum, which we haven't confirmed below here yet. But if we do, because we could consolidate sideways above this 20 level here, which 20 level is what you want to stay in. Even if we go below it, it is what it is. But basically, this is bear market low. What is it? Momentum behavior. Like that's something that is not really something that's pretty normal and historical outside of a bear market. So if I think we can go lower than this, if we do, then we do. The blue is currently pivoting off of the bottom level here, and we could totally consolidate here. Same thing for trending and consolidating markets. This is trending, consolidating, consolidating down. You can have a trending down as well. The HBAR technically in a trending down for the stochastic RSI. We gotta just kind of wait and see. But historically, the lower we are on the stochastic here, those are the best buying opportunities. So again, not financial advice, but basically, if you're not making your buys now, setting up your watch list. I can't stress this enough. If you're not in an alpha chat already, I have one. If you're interested, shoot me a DM after the show. We have about 80 something active Hedera members here calling alpha, letting finding opportunities, that kind of stuff. Super bullish on all of you guys in the alpha chat. But if you're not in the alpha chat already, you're not in an alpha chat already, maybe you are looking for opportunities, but you don't know where to look. I'm going to continue to try my best to bring you guys as much value here out of our shows, but you're going to mainly find me in the alpha chat, of course, moving forward as things start heating up here. More tokens are released, more NFT launches happen, that kind of stuff, and finding opportunities for you guys. If I can start getting special opportunities, spots for you guys in my community, I'm 1,000% going to be doing that. So I think this is the best opportunity I've seen in HBAR to make a purchase. Again, not financial advice. Since essentially January, December of 2022, January of 2023. So like a year and like 8 months. We're talking what, almost 20 months now since the last time we were at this level of momentum to make a purchase in HBAR. So if we have the blow off top and HBAR's at whatever the next price discovery, we can talk about price projections. Of course, I said 72 cents is most likely the top for HBAR. But as I said with Bitcoin will probably end up being like over 100K at some point this cycle if it really is volatile. HBAR, same thing. I can see HBAR at $1, over $1. I don't think that's that crazy. That's about a 30 to 50 billion market cap. I think that's totally doable, especially if all these positive catalysts are coming through for Bitcoin or for HBAR, of course, right? So about 70 something cents. I think that's absolutely incredible still. Obviously, everyone would love to see $1 plus, but that would be insane as well. So HBAR, what is it sitting at right now? I said basically 6 cents. So 72 cents would be about a 12x from here. And if this is the best buying opportunity and you're not okay with the 12x at minimum, I mean, that's what I'm looking at personally. So let me just kind of zoom out here or continue to zoom out. Yeah. So 12x would basically put us up here. Zoom out a little bit. Let's see. I could, you know what? I could put so about there. So we can kind of just zoom out a little bit and see just kind of where we are in relation to that. Let me see if desktop, because I usually chart on my mobile. I think it's right here, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just click a long position really quick. So basically, if you took a long right here for H bar, I imagine it could drop a bit as well. We could actually not that far. That's too much downward. I mean, we're talking 3 cents, 4 cents. I think that's probably the most it'll drop. So if we zoom in here, maybe zoom out a little bit. I mean, we're talking. Let me just remove the RSI so it's a bigger chart. I mean, we're talking like the tiniest. We're talking like the smallest risk here to potential reward at these levels of stochastic. So super incredible, super important opportunity here in terms of momentum, in terms of price action as well. I mean, this is so crucial and important to understand. This is the minimum, right? This is me. I'm always going to be super conservative on my price predictions where I think the market's heading. If we go higher than this, I mean, we're talking double this. And what did I say that was? A 12x, 20 something 4x. I mean, that's insanely life changing for most people. I mean, I doubt unless you only have like, no offense, like if you have like $100 in the market, I mean, I don't. I think you're probably better just using that $100 for something else, maybe self improvement or something. Obviously, you can invest. I mean, do your thing. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people are gonna have life changing money in this time. What did I say? This is 12x, I think, and then 24x. So I think these are probably the two levels, major psychological levels as well, out of $1 that you'll have to break through. So this level, and this level specifically. But of course, I mean, not financial advice on any of this stuff. This is what I see playing out for this bull run. If we have lower prices, of course, I'll let you guys know on the indicators what I'm watching, what I'm seeing here as well. But yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have an absolutely insane alt season. We haven't had one yet, so I believe this 20 cent range was just a little taste of what is yet to come. So plan your purchases accordingly. Not financial advice on any of this stuff, but I mean, this is the downside essentially to H bar that I'm watching. This little red sliver, and this is the potential upside for all seasons. So, I mean, make your plays, find your tokens, and this is just H bar, right? I'm not talking about NFTs. I'm not talking about DeFi. I mean, I could go. Like, can I even pull up Sauce? Let me see if I can pull up Sauce here. I actually never started Sauce here live. Let me see if I could do it. Okay. Hopefully it's yeah, I never tried sauce here. That's cool. Let's see. I see egg sauce and Saucino as well. Let's see. Oh, market cap's at 673. That's actually not bad. Ranking. It's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Okay, so about 70% of the supply is out. So only a billion tokens. Super fascinating as well. Um, that means that Hedera has 50 billion total tokens. Sauce, our leading DEX, only has a billion. That means Sauce is technically 50 times more scarce than H bar. Obviously, do with that information what you will. 0.045. So it's actually slightly lower than H bar as well. So yeah, let's chart it. Let's see what's going on here. This is the first time we're kind of covering this here because I guess I never thought of charting Sauce here as well. So again, shoot straight to the monthly, no games. Actually, since the chart's kind of smaller because it's a newer token, let's do the weekly, just kind of for the sake of the quantity of candles here. So let's see what the indicators are showing. I actually haven't really charted Sauce to be honest. I just know that when Bitcoin pumps, H bar pumps. When H bar pumps, Sauce rips. That's essentially the order there. I think it's I don't need to really do too much crazy analysis essentially. And this is what I don't get. Here's something that I just do not get at all when people say make comments like this, saying, "Oh, my platform will succeed regardless if Hedera or HBAR succeeds," or like "fuck Hedera" or what. Like, just I think those statements are just completely outlandish, completely toxic. Like, the more HBAR succeeds, the token, the organization, the organizations that are building on it, like that rising tide just inevitably lifts everything. The more Bitcoin succeeds, a lot of the altcoins are going to succeed. The more your altcoins like Hedera succeeds, pretty much everything on the on chain building has a much better chance, at least not guaranteed, but a way better chance. And I think that the attitude of a lot of some people, not really need to name names at this point, but I think that it just turns a lot of people off away from the HR community, and it's a really unfortunate. So let's watch this. Let's see. So as I said, the chart's not like super long. It's not a historical chart like Bitcoin because it is a newer token. But as you can see here, absolutely insane on the monthly here. I mean, we're basically on the verge of a stochastic RSI cross for the first time ever on sauce. And I mean, that's incredibly bullish if the blue comes out on top. So if you guys want me, let me know down in the live stream, in the comments, in the live, in the space. Let me know. You guys want me to start charting sauce in our show here as well? Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in as well. So let me go back to the weekly, see how many crosses we've actually had. I imagine we'll have quite a few. We've had quite a few probably. We had one here, but like I said, it doesn't. I don't really care about these crosses too much on the weekly. They don't fit the 369 rule that I'm mainly looking at, but you guys can see that it's important. It's important to know. And clearly, we had a cross in August, and we basically only had more momentum ever since. And the blue is actually shooting up quite fast on the weekly, which isn't the end all be all, but it seemingly is a breakout. That's clearly a breakout right here. I didn't know the weekly was shooting like that, but it's not the end all be all. We had a ton of momentum up here. We had a cross down, and we still had a ton of momentum. So super important to know. And we ran to basically 26 cents on, let's see, yeah, and then we had the cross down right here. So it is important, on to be honest, it is important to know when we have cross downs on the weekly too. So maybe it is worth note to look, because that was the actual top for sauce token back in late February going to March. And we had the cross down right here after a ton of just straight consolidation momentum at the 100 range, which you cannot get higher than this on any time frame. Super important to know. And we were down at, wow, wow, that's insane. Actually, on the week, I didn't know that this. I haven't really charted sauce almost ever. This is super eye opening. Wow. Sauce was at 2 cents and then just straight at 100 momentum. So that actually shows me, I'm just kind of looking at this live here with you guys. This actually shows me that the more momentum that's consolidating up here, my gosh, hold on. I'm just kind of looking at this. This basically uptrend, which is exactly what we're seeing here, is typically preceding the biggest moves. So obviously, you guys know whatever the next leg up for any major token is going to be preceded by this. So if we do shoot to 100, that's actually not a bad thing, because back here we did a 12x here, 13x, right? 2 cents. It was like 1 or 2 cents all the way to 26. And we were at max momentum for months. Let's see, uh, November 20th to January 20th. Yeah, so 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. So about a 3 month period there. So essentially, if we see that again, basically, if you're in sauce or whatever token that's connected with sauce, probably take some profits off the table. So yeah, if you guys want me to chart sauce moving forward as well, let me know. Happy to include it here. And like I said, on the monthly, we could obviously look at the monthly, but we're about to have a cross potentially to the upside. And momentum's basically, here's something super important on the monthly. Momentum's basically at nothing. So in terms of making a purchase, financial advice again, this is the absolute best opportunity to get into the DeFi ecosystem if you're in Hedera as well. Like, I cannot even stress this enough. Historically, even if the token's newer, we haven't had this, and the price isn't that much higher than the bear market lows essentially when the token was released. So again, can't really stress it enough. And if you guys want to talk about price action and where I see the token heading, I did a poll. You know what? Let me go pull the poll up really quick. Actually, I want to touch on this too. Let's see here. I guess I need to clear some site data because it doesn't want to let me open X. So let me refresh the page here. Hopefully, it doesn't crash my StreamYard. All right, let's see. Did it sign me out? No. What's going on? It's just being weird. I think it's trying to sign me out or something. Am I not signed in anymore? It's so weird. Okay. Well, uh, hmm. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what it's doing. Okay. I guess did it really sign me out of X? Hold on. I just cleared set to clear the cookies. I mean, if I'm not signed in, I'm not going to sign in here. I guess I can't look at it. Wait, it says my account doesn't exist. What? Okay, hold on. What's going on? Okay, I don't know why it's like not even showing my latest post. It's showing like random posts from March. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna. I guess I can't. I didn't even expect not to be signed in. So I guess we're not gonna cover the latest news because I can't even look at it. All right. Well, basically, I put up a poll saying, "Hey, and if you guys are on X right now, even if you're on the live stream watching on mobile, I assume you could do it on desktop too. Just hit that button on the top right. It's like a little minimizing button. You can actually go to my profile right now. You can like and retweet the show if you want as well. I'm actually gonna change the little banner here for a second. The best way to support the show, if you guys are here, if you found any of our alpha here valuable today, best way to support us, like, comment, retweet. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. I don't really mention that one. We are live on YouTube as well. So if you guys haven't subscribed over there, I am putting exclusive content on YouTube. I am taking little snippets of the show and adding it over there. And I see a bunch of you guys actually watching over there. So shout out to everyone listening in. I think we've got my goal is to get as many people on YouTube every day as spaces. So we're about 25% there, actually. Kind of crazy to think about, but slowly but surely, we're continuing to grow our platforms, our reach across the board as well. But go subscribe on YouTube. A link is in my bio on X here, and then it's just Web4 Roundtable on YouTube if you aren't already subscribed. And then friendly reminder to like the video if you found it of value today as well. And if you're on X here, live stream spaces, liking, commenting, retweeting. If you use HBark, I believe season 1 is about to end in the next couple of days. Shout out to Jack and the HBark platform. Feel free to drop a HBark comment as well if you again found any value out of our show here today. We are going to start wrapping up then very, very soon. We are going to start doing more crypto interviews as well. I'm starting to coordinate again with some of the founders here in the ecosystem. So if you are, friendly reminder as well, if you are interested in an interview, shoot me a DM. I'm happy to coordinate. I want to start jumping on some more calls as well with the founders in the ecosystem. I'm really excited to start connecting and look networking with you guys further. Of course, my goal was to really do that with the shows, but we could definitely do it in various ways as well. So I'm very much looking forward to that as well. But again, let me know if you guys are here on the live stream. Leave a comment here in the live stream. Let me know which tokens you want me to chart, and then of course when things really start picking up, I'm going to start charting various tokens live here on the show. So if you want your daily, because we are going to go back to daily shows, especially if we do get across. I told you guys if we get across up, we're going to go back to Monday through Friday shows, 5 p.m. EST. Place to be in Web3. You guys know how it goes. So let me end my screen here and go back here. So as you guys can see on the top right, weekdays, 5 p.m. EST. Right now, we're only doing Mondays and Wednesday shows. And if you guys have been here for about a year, we've been doing it a little over a year now. Episode 250 was our 1 year anniversary. We've been doing them. We've been here. We're going to continue to show up. We're going to continue to grind, support people, support as many founders, creators, platforms that I think are genuine, that I think are doing absolutely incredible things in the ecosystem. And we're going to continue to show up. So News Hub, crypto interviews, technical analysis. You guys know how it goes. That's going to be our main 3 focuses here. Technical analysis will be mainly tokens, DeFi, charting, that kind of stuff. News Hub, of course, if there's any major breaking news, any news from various platforms, that kind of stuff. And then if we really need to get into the weeds, crypto interviews with various platforms as well. So we're going to continue to do that, continue to show up here via the Web4 Roundtable. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the video yet on YouTube, feel free to do so now. We are live on X and YouTube. Friendly reminder as well, this show is recorded. So if you missed any of the alpha here, make sure to go back and listen to the show. This is the after show here. So all shows are recorded. Listen back if you missed any of today's alpha. Friendly reminder, we are powered by Cosmonodes, which is my PFP and upcoming launch here in Hedera. I'm going to start revealing some more alpha on Cosmonodes very, very soon. It's going to be a rather small, maybe exclusive drop. So if you're interested in whitelists, I'm going to start announcing what that's going to look like very, very soon. So if you're bullish on our platform, bullish on me, bullish on yourself in the ecosystem, well, wait no longer. Things are about to start heating up, I do believe, if scenario 1 is about to play out. If scenario 2 plays out, well, you guys know how it goes. And we're going to definitely have to wait for some time, but that's totally fine as well. More than happy to continue to build and support you guys here in the ecosystem. Much love, you guys. If you guys want to donate, the wallet is up there as well. Much appreciated. 0.044264. Of course, liking, retweeting, dropping an HBAR comment, any of that kind of stuff goes a massive long way to continue to support and improve the show. Make sure to go back and listen to the recording if you missed any of the alpha. And friendly reminder, today's show has been sponsored by Gilmore_Estates and the GC token. You guys can see the token ID up on the live streams, 0.03241481. Of course, they're tokenizing real estate on Hedera. Massive shout out to Gilmore_Estates. Make sure to go shoot them a follow, show them some love, and do your own research. All right, you guys, I will catch you all next week for our next show, and hopefully we have a cross at the end of this month, or of course going into October. If you guys have any questions, make sure to shoot me a DM. My DMs are of course open, and if you guys are not already in our alpha chat, well, wait no longer. Make sure to shoot me a DM right now once the show concludes. All right, you guys, I will catch you all later. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And of course, stay winning, y'all. Peace, y'all.